Also, the relationship between Elio and his aunt is also a standout. It reminded me of another sci-fi Disney cartoon, Lilo and Stitch. It has a very similar vibe to Nani, with the aunt being thrust into a guardian role that she doesn't know if she's ready for. I haven't seen the remake yet, but I've heard about its controversial ending, so I'm just going out on a limb and saying that Elio does that relationship better. Well, this is awkward. Lilo and Stitch is from Dean Fleischer Camp, director of Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. Written by Chris Cacanio-Kalani Bright and Mike Van Ways. Yet another live-action remake of yet another classic Disney animated film. Great! Why did I watch this? And that's a question I asked myself right at the beginning when it opens in the fully CGI alien world. A big part of why I decided to see it was how great Stitch looks and acts in the promotional material. A great argument against it is how all the other aliens look, especially the major characters of Jumba and Pleakley. They obviously don't look as off as the dwarfs in Snow White, but that's a high bar to clear. If you're upset about how you don't get to see Pleakley in drag, as was his trademark design in the movie and show and everything else, just remember, he'd still look like this for the whole movie. I remember when that one trailer came out and we got our first look at him and people defended it by saying that the effects probably aren't finished yet. They were. He just wasn't meant to be shown in live action. The decision to give him more convincing human disguises was probably just so that Disney could save money, but that turned out to be a godsend. But things get a little better once the story gets to Lilo, even though it's still a lesser copy of the original. The child actress captures her pretty well, same for all the characters around her. But things really start to pick up when Lilo and Stitch actually meet. While it's still mostly just a lesser copy of the original, it at least gets to the point where it's somewhat fun, where Stitch is interacting with a world that actually doesn't look terrible. It's Stitch who ends up being the thing that keeps this watchable. Voiced by his creator and voiced from the beginning, Chris Sanders, he is as likable as ever, and his chaotic energy saves this movie. Half of his scenes don't feel as much of a retread so much as giving him even more antics to put himself into. This time, unlike something like the Lion King remake, they actually found a way to make him look real without compromising expressiveness or anything that makes him interesting to watch. If only the rest of the movie was able to do that. The human stuff works alright, but it doesn't feel like it did in the original. The Lilo-Nani relationship isn't as good as the original, and to go back to the beginning, not as good as Elio. But it does work in a domestic drama type of way. And of course all the other alien stuff. Zach Galifianakis is miscast as Jumba, although my opinion on that may have been affected by the fact that his voice sounds different. But no, he doesn't even try to replicate the accent. And even accepting that, I was able to get used to Chris Pratt's Mario voice, but not this, so maybe that says something. It also might not have been helped by the fact that the climax pretty much assassinates his characterization from the original. The climax is also a lot smaller scale than the original. Probably a good argument for animation over live action. It's cheaper to make that kind of stuff look good in a cartoon. Screw it, for the sequel play the whole climax, including the infamous shit that was toned down after 9/11. I want to see Stitch hijack a plane. Aloha! Although I'll admit I didn't hate the ending as much as I thought I would. It makes some changes that are very controversial, but while I prefer the original ending, this one does a decent job of weaving it into the family theme so it doesn't feel like it's desecrating it like some people have said. This is, you pretty much know what you're getting into, a lesser version of a masterpiece made solely to make money. I almost wish I didn't support it. Companion and Mickey 17 bomb, but this movie will probably still make $1 billion and this video may help with that. I mean, my videos didn't help those other two movies, but whatever. It's lesser in terms of emotion and plot, and the story works better in animation. Say what you will about the Flintstones movies, but at least they were charming in how they faithfully recreated the cartoon in live action. The only thing charming about this is the CGI Stitch because he isn't live action. But he is charming as ever, and he does the difficult task of saving this movie.
For centuries, man has wondered if there is intelligent life elsewhere in the universe.
Whoa!
What was that?
Sound like a sonic boom.
Now they've come to begin our training.
Take me to your leaders.
Leaders?
The dogs who walk you?
The secret of man's best friend
It may look like people are in charge.
will be unleashed.
You don't see us picking up their poop.
Good boy.
See you guys? Chomper's a nice sharp tooth. He would never hurt us.
A memorable tale of hope, friendship, and love. Featuring original songs your entire family will enjoy.
Let's go, and run around, run around. What a beautiful
The Land Before Time 2, The Great Valley Adventure. Coming from MCA Universal Home Video.
Please open the door for me.
Jurassic World Rebirth is from Gareth Edwards, director of Rogue One, Godzilla, and Monsters, and written by David Cope, who worked on Mission Impossible, Spider-Man, and the first two Jurassic Park movies. I'll admit this wasn't something I was too excited to see. The original is among my favorite movies, but I've been less interested in the directions that the World movies have taken it. I really only saw the most recent one a couple days before this one. I saw it because my AMC A-list account had 4 movies per weekend. My first choice was Lilo and Stitch. Yeah, I guess I'm pathetic. My second choice was F1, and I ended up seeing that because I was afraid it'd be the last time I'd be able to see it in a premium format before they went to showing Superman. My third choice was Materialists, which I ended up seeing because there was only one screening a day in my theater, so it may have been my last chance. For the record, yes, I did know that both of these movies would be better than Lilo and Stitch. And finally, we get all the way to my fourth choice. This one, which I saw because I was afraid it'd be the last time I'd be able to see it in a premium format before they went to showing Superman. That's right, it took me getting an excuse for a rare 4-movie weekend for me to go see this thing. And honestly, it was pretty good. Like, it might have actually made me less disinterested in future installments. It takes place years after the original World trilogy. In that one, dinosaurs were let loose onto the world and we all learned to coexist. In this one, all of them just died off screen due to disease or the environment. Everything's back to normal now, except they still exist in some wildernesses. And a ragtag group of scientists and some castaways that they picked up set out to a dinosaur-inhabited island to get some samples of dinosaur blood to use in medical research. But of course, things don't go so well. Also, it turns out this island was used for some dinosaur experiments that went horribly wrong, as shown in an opening scene that looks very similar to part of the opening sequence in the same director's Godzilla movie, and has a bizarre product placement for Snickers in the sense that it's painfully non-subtle, but the way that it's used as the cause of everything going horribly wrong doesn't seem like the ideal portrayal that your average brand would want. But anyway, it moves away from the bigger and more ridiculous aspects of all the other World movies and takes us all back to basics. It's a group of ordinary people on an island with dinosaurs who want to kill them. It's like we're actually getting a Jurassic Park sequel and not a Jurassic World sequel. Story-wise, it feels like a better version of Jurassic Park 3. The dinosaurs look as good as they always have, and they are as threatening as ever. And their scenes are nothing less than intense. And the characters, while I'm not going to pretend they're particularly well written, the script at least puts time and effort into fleshing them out. But then it gets a little worse when it tends to some of the aspects of the Jurassic World movies. We get another hybrid dinosaur, except while the one in Jurassic World looks as cool as any other full dino, this one is their dumbest design yet. I guess it might have been cool if it wasn't supposed to be a dinosaur and was just some alien monster, but now that it's meant to be a dinosaur, it's an ugly one. The franchise still hasn't dropped some of its past mistakes, but it's a definite improvement over the last two. Should it have gotten to this many sequels? Probably not. Honestly, it probably should have ended at the first Jurassic World. For all its flaws, it was still a great way to wrap it all up. The ultimate story of mankind's hubris getting them killed, both in terms of how far they mess with nature and how many tourists suffered for their arrogance. Nowhere else to go from there. Also, I'm pretty sure nobody would want to mess with dinosaurs again after that. However, if all of the sequels, including Jurassic World, had followed the path of this one, there wouldn't really be any need to ask this question. They wouldn't be as good as the original, but who cares? Back to basics, and back to what made them and other monster movies work. A definite step in the right direction.